Joining us today at GameOn is fitness trainer, model, and entrepreneur Stef Corgel. Stef, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Well, I know you played a few different sports growing up, but you settled on basketball. What made you decide that basketball was your thing?
So there was a very pivotal moment, and I can track it back to growing up in Manhattan Beach, surfing, playing basketball, softball, and soccer. I ended up picking basketball and soccer, playing them through high school. And the day that I received my first college recruiting letter for soccer, I wasn't as excited as I thought I should have been. And so I quit soccer that day and just stuck with basketball.
Well, good for you for knowing that. I mean, I feel like that's young. Well, you ended up playing basketball at UC Santa Barbara and then Cal State, Monterey Bay with someone else.
Go Gauchos, go Otters.
Sitting right here. Were you guys on the same team?
We were absolutely on the same team together. We played together for 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah, I
2
think
years.
2.
And it was just such a delight.
No,
Jenna was
you're
like
being-
the energy.
No, you were.
No, yeah, she told us you were.
Yes, you light up any room you come in. Everyone needs to take a page out of Stef's book. I mean, she's the most positive person I know. Not only just as a student athlete, but just a person.
I'll pay you later, JB. And that's who she was. I just walked into the studio today and I was like, JB, and it's probably been a couple of years since we've seen each other, but no time has passed, and that's what college teammates are. You've got that bond.
And I love to see that, you carried your basketball career into professional. You played basketball overseas in Italy. Yeah. Talk a little bit about that. How was your experience out there?
Yeah, so I ended up sending game film out to Europe and found a little cushiony place to play point guard in La Spezia, Italy. I was there for 1.5 years, and it was my ticket, my vehicle to travel the world, and in my opinion, to finally become an adult. I had never lived outside of California, and when you are, especially in a foreign country, by yourself, no family, one other American, and you don't know Italian yet, you grow up really fast. So it was a beautiful experience that way. It was a learning opportunity as to what to do with myself and how to stay composed when you feel lonely, when you are in a foreign environment where there isn't a regimented training schedule. Yeah. You're not going to the weight room, or you're not. I was playing with a lot of high school girls that were considered professional Italians, even though I was now 24 years old. So it's a different culture. It is a beautiful culture. I have mi familia still out there, and I talk to them over Facebook. So,
well, if anyone can, deal with the pressure and adversity out there, it's you. And that's a little bit about Stef Corgel, and there'll be more to come.
Now, Stef, you have been a professional basketball player, a fitness trainer, a surfer, a lifeguard, and now you've decided to train and run the New York City Marathon. What made you want to take on this adventure?
I think as a team athlete and as an entrepreneur, you have this mindset of what's next, and it can be a little bit of a dangerous mindset, right? You don't necessarily get to reflect all the time on the great things that you've done or the moments that you've shared with people you love. But it is that next thing mentality and that drive forward. I want to do something that's hard. And I am involved with a bunch of different companies. I feel like in order to represent all these wellness companies, I do need to take the next step to just taking on a new challenge, and I get to do so with my amazing partner, Pat.
I love that. Now, what is a day of training like for you?
So usually I'll get up early, get my own workout in. I will teach either 1 or 2 virtual classes. I might be training in studio later on. One training session will be high intensity. The next will be yoga, even yin yoga. So lying there in Shavasana, I count that as a workout, a mental workout.
Yeah, I don't recall a day where you weren't there early before practice, already getting shots up or training. You are nonstop. I don't know how you do it, but.
I mean, you gotta put hours and hours in just to keep up with Jenna Bandy.
Oh boy.
I believe it was like gooseneck.
How is it different training for a marathon than it is like conditioning for basketball or your normal training that you teach people on an everyday basis?
That is such a great question, because the biggest adjustment that I've noticed is in my nutrition. I have to eat twice as much. I'm back to eating a lot of red meat, so I have to dirty up my diet in such a way that I have enough fuel to get me through the next workout. I would also say the recovery has been tenfold. I religiously am in my Normatec boots, using my Hypervolt, getting deep tissue massage. It's been an expensive little journey, really, as it sounds, but I think it's necessary. And I'm learning so much every step of the way and continuously being humbled. And I think that's also a reason why you take on a task like a marathon.
So Stef, I hear that you are running this marathon for a good cause. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so my boyfriend Pat and I are running for the organization Yamba Malawi. And Malawi, as many of us know, is one of the poorest nations in the world. And so Yamba Malawi goes in with these caretakers, and what they do is build infrastructure, set up businesses, and basically bring children out of poverty. And it's not a bandage fix, it is a long-term economic fix where the people of Malawi are now empowered and have the education to create their own businesses, whether it's beekeeping or creating peanut farms. And once these businesses generate a profit, it goes back to the kids.
What would you say to someone like me who hates running, doesn't know where to start, but wants to maybe start training for a marathon?
I would say start with a walk run and make sure you're not doing it alone. I think accountability with any sport, any training segment, any big goal you have in mind has to have this sense of accountability and partnership. It is so important that you find someone who's like-minded that will show up for you, and then on the days when you are sore and beaten down and just don't want to do it, you show up for them too. And when you do that on repeat, you realize that the accountability is to yourself. And so you continue to show up for yourself. But little chunks, baby steps, you start with a walk run, you start with 3 miles, and then you start to build up week by week by week, and really hone in on the recovery. I think when you're doing endurance training in particular, you become incredibly intuitive with your body. And it's an empowering feeling, especially as a woman.
What's up, YouTube? If you're looking for all things women's sports, subscribe below. WSN is the first network dedicated to women's sports, so hit that subscribe button and never miss a goal, bucket, or birdie.
Every athlete has a place they own.
Let's go!
The rink, the slopes, the barrel, the fairway, the field, and this court. And without a doubt, this court.
She makes it!
It's about time to welcome the first, the only
That was awesome!
Women's Sports Network. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Oh yeah, it's game on.